When my boss told me I could either attend my father's funeral or keep my job, something inside me didn't shatter. It froze solid. By the time I walked out of her office that afternoon, I wasn't grieving anymore. I was done being disposable. If you've ever been pushed to choose between your humanity and your paycheck, hit subscribe, because this story will hit closer than you expect. The call came at 6:12 a.m. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Almost. Is this Alina Reyes? My stomach dropped before she even finished the sentence. I already knew. You don't get calls from hospitals before sunrise unless something's gone horribly wrong. I'm calling about your father. Everything after that sounded like static underwater. Cardiac arrest. Sudden. No suffering. Gone. Just like that. No warning. No chance to say goodbye. I sat on the edge of my bed, phone still pressed to my ear long after the nurse had hung up. My apartment was silent, except for the hum of my fridge and the pounding in my ears. Dad was in New Mexico. I was in Chicago. Funeral would be in 4 days. I needed time. Not optional time, not vacation time. Human time. By 9:03 a.m., I was standing outside Valerie's office. Director of operations, queen of results-driven culture, professional empathy vacuum. Her door was half open. She was already typing, aggressively, like every keystroke was a personal attack on the keyboard. "Hey," I said. She didn't look up. "Make it quick. I've got the argon rollout in 20. My dad passed away this morning." Her typing slowed. Stopped. She looked up like I'd just mentioned bad weather. "Oh. No, I'm sorry. No pause. Just, oh. I need 4 days off," I said. "The funeral's in Santa Fe. I have to fly out." She leaned back in her chair. "You know that look? The one that says you've already lost before the conversation starts?" "We're mid-quarter," she said. "You know that." I blinked. "I'm burying my father. And we're deploying the largest client migration this company's handled in 3 years. My chest tightened. "I'm not asking for a month." "You can take 2 days." I laughed before I could stop myself. 2 days? "You can attend the service remotely." The room went very, very quiet. I actually thought she was joking. She wasn't. "This isn't a webinar," I said. "It's my dad." She folded her hands like she was negotiating office supplies. "Everyone makes sacrifices." There it was. Corporate scripture. I stared at her. 5 years. 5 years of late nights, of fixing messes that weren't mine, of staying online while everyone else logged off, of holding entire systems together with duct tape and caffeine. And now? Choose. Job or goodbye? "I'll take the 2 days," I said, but something in my voice had already checked out. She nodded like she'd solved a scheduling conflict. Conversation over. Humanity denied. I didn't go back to my desk. I didn't pack up dramatically, didn't cry in the bathroom. I just walked out, through the glass doors, into the parking garage, and sat in my car, hands on the steering wheel, breathing. Not sad, not yet, just cold. That night, grief didn't hit. Clarity did. I opened my laptop at 1:07 a.m., logged in, same as always, except this time, I wasn't fixing anything. I was reviewing. Everything I'd built, every workflow, every custom integration, every undocumented workaround that kept our biggest accounts from collapsing. Things I'd created because no one else could, or cared enough to. Training sheets, automation scripts, recovery procedures, the quiet backbone of half the company's operations. None of it client data, none of it proprietary, all of it mine, built from survival, not instruction. And suddenly, I didn't feel like leaving it behind. By sunrise, my decision was made. I didn't sabotage anything, didn't break systems, didn't touch what wasn't mine, but I did remove the scaffolding I personally built to keep everything standing, the unofficial lifelines, the undocumented genius that kept things from catching fire. Then I wrote one email. Subject: resignation effective immediately. 2 paragraphs, no gratitude, no explanation. Send. At 7:40 a.m., my phone started buzzing. At 8:05, it was ringing nonstop. By 9:30, emails were stacking like panic. By 11, though, voicemails turned sharp, urgent, confused, demanding. Funny how quickly people learn your name when your absence hurts. I turned the phone off, boarded my flight, and went home. Dad's place still smelled like motor oil and black coffee. His jacket was still on the hook, his mug still in the sink, like he'd just stepped out. The grief finally hit there. Heavy, real, quiet. The next day, I checked my email. Subject, critical access request. Then, immediate operational disruption. Then, need to discuss solutions. Right. I replied with a meeting time, 2 days later, right during their biggest rollout window. The call started tense. Valerie, red-eyed, a man from legal, another from finance. No condolences this time, just need. We're missing process documentation, Valerie said. My documentation? I asked. You built it here. I built it because no one else did. Legal jumped in. It supports company functions. It supports survival, I corrected. Silence. Finally, I said, I'm not returning. Valerie stiffened. But I will consult. Her eyes narrowed. I named my rate. High, paid up front, limited hours, on my schedule. Legal called it unreasonable. I called it reality. They paid. Between funeral arrangements and paperwork, I guided them through what they needed, step by step, no shortcuts, no softness. Every fix came with context. Every solution came with the reminder this existed because someone once cared enough to build it. On the final call, they made their move. Promotion, remote leadership role, huge raise, decision-making authority, everything they'd never offered before. Everything suddenly available now that I was gone. I didn't hesitate. No. Valerie was stunned. This is a real offer. It's a reaction, I said. Silence stretched. You had 5 years. You noticed me when things broke. No one argued, because they couldn't. 2 weeks later, their rollout failed. Major client walked. Others followed. I heard through industry whispers, not with satisfaction, just recognition. 3 months later, I joined a smaller firm, 10 people. First question from the CEO wasn't, when can you start? It was, how are you holding up? I stayed there because they saw a person, not a function. A year passed. One evening, I got a message from Valerie. Simple. I'm sorry, I handled that wrong. I read it twice, then replied, you did, and left it there. Dad used to say, people show you who they are when it costs them something. Turns out, he was right. And sometimes the strongest answer isn't destruction. It's letting them feel what your absence really weighs.